my friend, who's watching this, listening to this, and thinking about this. Wherever you think you are, in reality, you are outside of space-time. And if you could know this at a very deep level of awareness, then you would automatically go beyond the constructs of birth and death, even the constructs of space and time. So, of course, I've said this many times, and some of you might find this redundant, but let me go deeper into this, or try to, as much as I can, as deep as we can. So this experience that you're having right now, you're obviously looking, I hope, at this book, Digital Dharma. You're looking at these paintings. By the way, that painting is of the Buddha. And if you were close up, you would see that every little dot there is Buddha. It's a holographic representation of the teachings of the Buddha. And that, by the way, is a tantric symbol. And that's Ganesh. All human constructs, but very useful, symbolic representations of the eternal. In any case, as we dig deeper into the nature of experience, you have to understand just a few principles. All experience happens in formless awareness. All experience happens in formless. The experience is not happening in your eyes. Electrochemistry is happening in your eyes. Experience is not happening in your brain. Electrochemistry is happening in your brain. Experience is not happening in any of the five senses. Just electricity is happening as a construct in all the five senses. Even the experience of your own body is not happening in your brain or any sensory organ, although you need your sensory organs as instruments of observation to experience it. But experience is happening in formless awareness, period. Therefore, all experience happens outside of space and time, including the experience of our physical bodies, because our physical bodies are also continuums of sensations. So let's break this down, okay? First of all, understand formless awareness. Formless awareness is the essence of our consciousness. It is not bound by physical form or the constraints of space and time. So what I'm suggesting is that the nature of this formless awareness is that it transcends the physical dimensions we typically associate with experience. In this state, experience is not limited by the physical properties of the universe, but occurs in the realm of pure consciousness. Even the physical properties of the universe are sense perceptions, first, modes of knowing and experience, before we measure them as regularities of experience and call them laws of nature, etc., etc. So, experiences happen beyond space and time. The notion that all experiences happen outside of space-time comes from the understanding that awareness itself is not a physical entity. Since awareness does not possess form, it is not constrained by the physical dimensions of space and time. This perspective and this knowing aligns, of course, with Advaita and Kashmir Shaivism and certain philosophical and spiritual teachings, both in the East and West, that view consciousness as a fundamental, timeless reality, which conceives, constructs, governs, and experiences itself as the material world. This view comes from non-dual meditation practices, where you can achieve a state of pure formless awareness by transcending thoughts, objects, and perceptions. So it's called samadhi, beyond subject object split. And dharana, dhyan, samadhi are the key to get there. So this state is the direct experience of consciousness that is not bound by the physical world. Direct experience. Okay. I can share many meditations, but there's a book I have called Total Meditation somewhere here, which deals with this and all kinds of practices to get you there. There's also a philosophy called eternalism. And eternalism, in this philosophy of time, eternalism suggests that all points in time are equally real and the flow of time is an illusion in what is called the eternal now. Okay, so this view also supports the idea that experiences can exist outside the linear progression of perceived time, as time itself is seen as a dimension similar to space. So the mind-body continuum concept, and it is not a concept, it's actually an experience more than a concept, suggests that there is a seamless connection between the physical body and the non-physical mind. This continuum extends from the tangible physical aspects of our being to the subtle non-physical aspects without any breaks in between. Our physical bodies are experienced as a continuum of sensations. These sensations are interpreted by our consciousness, which itself is formless. Thus, while the body exists or seems to exist in space and time, the experience of the body is processed by a consciousness that is not bound by these dimensions. And when we engage in practices like yoga and meditation, then this integration of body and mind happens spontaneously. And then it becomes obvious that while our physical form interacts with the world, or seems to interact with the world, our awareness of these interactions transcends physical limitations. Okay, so the idea that all experience happens in formless awareness and outside of space and time, it might challenge conventional mainstream thinking, particularly of scientists, but it suggests that our true nature is a timeless, spaceless awareness that perceives and processes experiences, including those of our physical body, in a realm beyond the physical universe. And this perspective is supported by various philosophical, spiritual, and meditative traditions that emphasize the non-physical nature of consciousness and its fundamental role in shaping our reality. So you, my friend, who's listening to this, watching this, are already outside of space-time in a timeless now. And everything else is a perceptual trick, okay, so that we can experience the diversity of form and phenomena, which are all differentiated from the formless. Knowing this is extremely important because our common home, therefore, is beyond space and time. And when we shift our awareness from our projections to the I am, which is responsible for these projections, and we are no longer bamboozled by our projections, but understand ourselves as the source of all projections, then we are liberated. We are free. We are beyond birth and death. Again, Bhagavad Gita, water cannot wet it, wind cannot dry it, weapons cannot shatter it, fire cannot burn it. You are the eternal, timeless being beyond the constraints of birth and death. You're just being bamboozled by your projections. So, it's like a great movie where you're sitting in the audience, but you forget that you're sitting in the audience. You identify with all the characters in the movie, and then you become part of the movie. So, yes, it can seem that you're part of the movie, but actually, you're the projector of the movie. And because the eternal now contains infinite timelines simultaneously, you can project yourself into any movie in the metaverse. Now, for eternity, in the timeless now. Okay, so that's it for today, and I hope this was useful. Check out Digital Dharma, but also engage with me in any conversation you want to have at digitaldeepak.ai. You don't need an app. You can just go to your browser, ask any question, and then wherever you are in the non-local domain beyond space and time, we can engage in exploring the deepest reality that is not in space-time, but appears to be in space-time. Thank you, friends, and have a wonderful day.